Hey guys, it's Diana. I'm back. Art by Diana Myers. This is my Facebook page, business page. I have two groups, which I may put the link up here in a minute. Tonight we're going to do something a little different. And I know it's not Christmas, and I know it's not Halloween, but I had some wood cut, because I can't do it, for the bottom of my deck, because I'm going to put some lattice up that I can do. And then, do you want the leftover pieces? I'm like, yeah. So they gave me this leftover piece, a heavy 2x4. My grandson's actually going to come and yell in, so I'm going to do a distressed Santa. And I went, and I'll show you what I did. I went and cut some of it up with some knives, and I beat it up with a hammer, and I sanded it and stuff. So I got this little design in here. I'm going to turn around here in a minute, and we will do a distressed Santa. Now, I suppose you'd call them vintage. They're probably a little colorful, so I don't know. My version, anyways. Let me put that link. See if I get the link here for you. Manage links. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Okay, it's not. It does this to me. It's just like sometimes I can get up there first. Sometimes I can't. There you go, show. So this is, what I'm showing you is my free group. It's called the Artsy Rose. And I teach acrylic painting, mostly to newbies or people that struggle with painting, who want to become more skilled, inspired, and confident on their artistic journey. It's my little spiel I put up there because I never remember. I'm at that age. You got to worry about that stuff, right? So you try not to take anything that's going to let you forget stuff, though. But that's what I do mostly. I've been doing this for 40 years, self-taught, and I know the struggles of that kind of stuff. And like in my advanced group, my membership, I send them all kinds of stuff that I do and that I see other artists that I think might help them along, things I've learned and things that I can teach them. And I have all kinds of guides on everything if you want to be more advanced. In the meantime, my free group, I encourage painting and art of any kind. So we're going to be painting rocks. This was International Watercolor Month, so we've been doing a lot of watercolors, which is fun. And in my membership, tomorrow night we're going to be doing some pumpkins. Oh yeah, so we're going to funk those up a little bit, have some fun, just for something different. In the meantime, we're going to do this vintage Santa because Diana got some wood. So I'm going to put this up here, and we'll talk about what I'm going to do. Basically, I'm just going to paint this wood is what I'm going to do, and kind of talk to you about painting and stuff. So let me turn this around. It should be right down here. Can you see this? So let me see. I'll put you up on my iPad, make sure you can see it. Uh-oh. I should be on my art page. I don't know, sometimes I just can't get this thing to cooperate. Come on. Come on. Sometimes it just won't. I hit the same buttons and things just don't happen sometimes. I will get you up there, I promise. Anybody on yet? See somebody. Hey, Barb. All right, come on. I am in the right page, ain't I? I'm not in the group, am I? No, I'm in Art by Diana Myers. Let me see. Come on, girl. What am I doing? It's on public. Done. I swear to God. Hey, cat girl. I'm trying to get us up again. I swear that people probably think I'm slow. You know, I got up faster on the phone than I ever do on this iPad. I always hit the same button, and some days it just comes right up, some days it don't. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go back here. Let me go to up here. Sometimes that works. I got it. I figured it out. Anyways, so we're going to do this old world Santa, or distressed, or whatever you want. But I went, and he smells so good. I went and with the knife, you can see I left some little peels on here. I don't want to hurt myself. I might have to sand them down just so they kind of stick up. I did it on his beard. I beat it with a hammer. Neighbors probably think I'm nuts. the pointy end. And then I sanded some down, and I kind of like just made it look kind of old. So I got some sanding paper block here if I need some more. Thanks for the stars, Kat. Always appreciated. Sometimes all I make is the stars, so I always appreciate them. Thank you so much. I get them on both my pages now, so I've been getting a little bit more. It's not a ton of money, but hey, better than nothing, right? All right, let's see. Yeah, I always do that all the time. I always come on early. Now, it all depends on what I got going on. Usually I'll do anything from 6:30 to 7. So, now usually if I do the event section, I don't know if you know what that is, but I will follow that because I'll put the time in. But, you know, a lot of these I just kind of go with the flow. But I like to be a little bit early sometimes, so be looking out for me. I usually will punch like that live thing. I'll pull the live thing up so people know. But, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I started doing this thing where you can, the teachers do it. I got a few names. I can't think of the name, but it'll make sure that you're on time, but that don't always work. So, hey, Joe Allen. So anyways, let's turn this around. Yeah, I go on early sometimes. Be looking out for me. I do it. Can't help myself. I get excited. I want to get it done. I'm hoping I get a few hours of daylight. I'm going to go out and do another watercolor on my house. Hopefully I get a little daylight. It's kind of hot up. It's kind of cooling off now. All right, so here it is. Kind of roughed it up. And I'm going to do, I picked out a blue. Picked out some colors. I picked out this blue for the background. But I'm going to kind of take, afterwards, I'm going to kind of take this and kind of do a wash with it to kind of make it look antique-y. When I get done, you could actually, I did one years ago, and I took furniture stain. You know what I'm talking about? I use stain furniture sometimes, and it's got like polyurethane in it. So I stained the whole thing. In fact, my daughter still has it. My aunt loved it. She thought it came from Marshall's. And it's funny because she works at Marshall's, but she has that table, and I had done it real perfect. I found this table, cut the legs off. It was circular. I wanted a circular table, and I wanted way too much money. So I did this whole design on it with roses and everything. It was perfect, right? I hated it. I wanted like a beat-up look, which was really trending at that time. So I beat it with a hammer and sandpaper. I put nails in it, pulled the nails out. I mean, I did all kinds of stuff. It looked so much better. And then the colors need to be dulled down. So I just used a furniture stain. A light like stain, and I stained the whole thing, then wiped it off. Oh my god, it was perfect, and it resisted like spills and stuff. So she still has that table, but it looked like something you would buy in Marshall's, you know, but a whole lot cheaper because I got that table out of the trash. And there's something. So I'm putting some white on here too, kind of getting this paint in this brush with a little brown, just kind of filling it up. Then I'm going to pick up the blue, just so it's not quite so blue. I'm going to tone this blue down too, so this is kind of going to be like, maybe just like a sky in the background. I'm not really sure. I'm just doing this, guys. Sometimes I get into something, you know, when you're painting, you have a little painting session, and you think you're going to do one thing, and you go, you know, I don't look good. So then you end up doing something else. Well, that's what painting is about. You know, be willing to just like sit down and go with the flow, you know. So I think this would look good, like with maybe some stars on it, but I think I'm going to kind of wait it out and see how the Santa comes up. But I like doing the background first. Then you kind of encapsulate what you're doing. A little brown in there. A little bit of my peanut butter color in there. So it's not quite so vibrant. I use that ochre a lot to tone down my colors, just a tad, because you use too much. With that, it comes out like too funny of a color. Like if you mix it, it's a yellow, and you put too much yellow in the blue, it'll turn green. Now, if that's what you want, that's fine, but I don't want that, so. But yeah, a little bit just Santa, but you know, be looking around for maybe some wood you got in your yard. I mean, I've done this like on old driftwood, pieces of stuff that came from the house. And this is like sturdy. This could be left outside. I mean, you could leave it half the winter if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Tone that down a little bit. Now, I was thinking I might do another one on the other side too. Or you could probably, maybe I'll do like a Halloween on the other side. How about that? That's a good idea. I think I'll do that, change that. And I just used a pencil to start it, and then it wasn't like covering real good. So I took like a marker, a black marker, and that did better. This is like untreated wood, but it is pressure treated. It's meant for outside, you know, for my deck, or a porch, whatever you want to call it. It's deck wood. I'll do the sides here. See this paper. Oh, it's too bright. Hold on. A little more of that ochre color, and then I'll tone that blue down. There you go. I don't want quite so vibrant. But yeah, I use that ochre a lot. So any kind of brown would do. But this is kind of like the most perfect color for all my antique-y things. I like that antique look. So my palette knife paint, this is the color you want to use, guys. It's what they use. A lot of artists use this to start a painting. It's kind of neutral. You know, like they'll sketch the whole painting in before they paint it. I mean, it covers it up. You can use any color, but traditionally it's this or like burnt umber or burnt sienna or any of those like kind of brownish colors because it's like an in-between color. But you can do it any color you want. But it is a nice color too. I use a lot of it. I'm always running out of it. See, like that little bit just kind of tones that blue down. I'm really scrubbing this brush. This is an old brush. I'm really scrubbing this on too. It's not a nice smooth surface, so be aware of that. You could even get like one of those utility brushes, you know what I mean? More blue in there. So you gotta really dig down, because I put all those gouges in, you gotta dig down in. Forget these things. I might have stained in my porch, the ends, forget it, just do the sides. And you can try, but they don't cover so good. Yeah, I think maybe we'll do a pumpkin on the other side. How about that? Then we'll have 2 holidays in one. Yeah, so be looking around your yard, even old leg on the furniture, or I've seen them. I almost picked somebody's trash the other day, but I said, no, I got too much stuff. Ceiling fans, if you can get they weren't off there. If you can get the blades off there, those are awesome to paint. Make great little gifts too. People like that stuff. Rolling pins, trays, all that stuff is great. Anything old is even better. I like going around the secondhand stores and looking for stuff, you know, to paint. It'll probably get thrown away anyways, you know. Of course, I haven't been in a while. I want to cut maybe a month ago. My God, who the heck is pricing this stuff? But I think the sellers that buy and sell the stuff have pushed the prices up on that stuff. I mean, you're better off going to garage sales, really. All right, so I got a lot of that blue on now. Who's on here? I'm going to turn the sound down. And okay. All right, so I got a lot of that blue on now. There's Joanne. Hey, Joellen. Who's on here? Oh, girl, I got all that stuff on here. I'm going to turn the sound down. Let's see. And okay. So come on. Okay, there you go. I'll get it back now. Hit the button again. All right, that's done. Hit it again. Comment. Hello. There you go. Oh, now, brown cow. Good evening. I think you're the only one up here. And me. Yeah, so, oops. There's a button on there, see what star cinders are. They usually tell me the back of my thing. Who's that? Just mostly Joellen. And Barb and Kat. Alright. Got this back. And now I am going to, oops, I got it in the wrong one, right? Oops. Hold on, guys. Oh, stop. Just stop it. Okay. Alright, there you go. You know, these phones are so sensitive. All you do is just brush it with a hair eyelash, and next thing you know, you're in the wrong place. Alright, so now I'm going to scrub in some white right here. I'm going to rinse this out a little bit. A little paper towel. I'm out of paper towels, but I got extra stuff here. I can use my baby wipes. I don't know how I go through them so fast. I'm going to take some white, same thing. I'm going to add a little bit of that ochre. And it's going to tone this down a lot. And I'm just going to go, we're going to detail at the end, but right now all I want to do is kind of create my Santa first. Then I can adjust him as we go. I guess that same thing, you got to kind of scrub this in because I put all kinds of nooks and crannies in here. I do that. We put little lines and stuff in, finish it up. And I'm going to take a little bit of that blue with this white this time. Might need a little black. I might need to get some black out. Hold on. I need to make a gray, a little bit of a gray. I have a new one here. I put my other, I've been putting like whatever project it is on a paper plate and just layering, and then I just go and get in my wet palette. Then I go just get the one I need. You know what I mean? Alright. Okay. That's a good grade, maybe a little later. I just want to kind of... We're going to go, like I said, we're going to come back and detail a lot of this. Sometimes you need extra colors in there, so when you go to use your white or your lighter colors, if the background's kind of neutral or has some color to it, it'll make the white or lighter colors pop. So you need something dark in the background. And this can be real dark, like this is not real dark, but you don't have something in the background, it's not going to show up very good. Not going to show up. So I'm just putting a bunch of blues, black, white, ochre. I'm going to put a lot of highlights in here. Then we're going to use some kind of red too. Oh, I got the red out. I'm going to scrub that in with this old brush too. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do some detailing at the end here. It's a little too red, huh? Well, that's ochre to have. Don't worry about getting too orange though. I don't want to be orange. Maybe a little black in that actually. Maybe we'll tone it down a little black. So it's like a charcoal red, a maroony red. Yeah, it's a little better. It was a little too vibrant. Which is, if you want to do that, you can. This wood is nice and porous, but it's also, I got it all beat up. Make this head a little bigger. I just ordered. My hair is so bleached out. Obviously, I colored it. It's really white from the sun. So I think I burnt my scalp last week. I have been losing a lot. I think it's all the medication and age. So I ordered myself a little hat that I can swim with. It's just a fishing cap, pink, really pretty. And it's got like a little pouch you can put in. I can carry it in my swim bag because my hair is like thinning out, and I just feel like, you know, it's taken out the color a little bit. I don't put a lot of color in it. I kind of just stain it a little bit, just kind of pick pieces out, stain it. I don't do a solid color. But it's just, it washes out because I'm in that pool 3-4 times a week. Take advantage of that because God knows it's not going to last much longer, right guys? Alright, so that's like nice and toned down. So like I said, I added the red, a little bit of shallow, and then some black. Made almost like a brick color. There you go. Come in here. Ooh, use a little more red. A little more red. I'm not gonna worry about this belt. I'll come back and do this belt. Yeah, so we're gonna do some more stones on Saturday. Saturday, right? Yeah. I got a couple things I want to do. I was looking at those roosters and the flamingos, or little rocks. I put a lot of them out in the yard, but I'm going to take them somewhere and share them. Alright. Scrub that in good. Yeah, this is like when you're doing this kind of stuff, you got to kind of be aware that you got to use an old brush. And it's like supposed to be vintage, kind of beat up, so you ain't really got to be real perfect with it either. That's another thing. How about a green glove? I think a green glove would be cool, right? This green is way too bright. Let's do an old looking green, a regular looking green. This Kelly green from, what is it? Apple Barrel is pretty cool. Now I got some gold paint here. I don't know if I will or not, but you could highlight this with some gold paint. You can put sparkles on it. Do whatever you want. Kind of expect you to be creative, you know what I mean? Everybody needs to be creative. I'm gonna do that hat in a minute. Let me get this glove. I'm just gonna, this green is kind of toned down enough that I don't have to, think I have to do anything to it. I'm just gonna kind of do this with it. Like that. Okay, so now what we need is we're gonna need a detail brush. Something, well I'm gonna start with the flat. Let me put a little, he's gonna need a little, like a little thumb there. Let's take some white and black maybe, make like a gray, and then go into that blue. So we have a bluish, whitish gray, and I'll just go like this. And we'll make a little fuzz, Yeah, I'm gonna start making some fuzz up here too. Just take your flat brush and kind of, or your round brush, whatever you got, kind of do this. Christmas is a long way out, but I thought, oh, this would be such a good thing. I've been wanting to do something like this, but I haven't had any wood. Right? You need wood for this. I was looking at some trays, but I've done the trays before. I think we're definitely next week, or if not sooner, I do a special class. I'm going to do that bowling ball. So it just doesn't look good anymore. It got faded. I never sprayed it. The other one I did it with stones. You know those blue stones you buy? They're so cute. But I really need to, like, it needs an update. It's not looking so good. Now you could do something to the sides yet. What I'm going to do, I don't know. It needs an update. Maybe I'll do fuzzies right there too instead of a star or something. Blue, black, and white. Get a grayish, bluish white. I use blue a lot in snow. Because believe it or not, snow is not actually white. There's either reflection light would either be blue or purple, so you could actually use purple, white, and black, and you'd get a nice color too. Just FYI. So I'm just coming in here back and forth with this square brush, flat brush. Need to highlight this right here too. Alright, so now let's kind of mess around with that mustache. Same colors. I'm going to come in here and just kind of go around this edge, Gotta do his face too. There's some red on here. So I'm going to take this red and white, make a pink, and put a little bit of ochre in there so it's like not real loud. It's like a more of a flesh tone. If you add that ochre to the pink and white, which I just did, it gives you like a subtle pink. If you add red and white, it's really pink. You add the yellow, and it kind of tones it down. I'm just going to put a little face in here. I was thinking I might even glue a bead in here. I have some brown wood beads, but I don't know, they'll probably pop up, so I think we're just going to paint it. I want a little pink in here for his face, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Then we'll do his face better. Still working with the flat brush. A little round brush would be good too, or a filbert. Alright, so let's go back to that, the blue and the white and the black. Like a grayish, bluish, gray. Yeah, like a gray. Whitish, grayish. A little blue. You ever notice like a lot of the really good artists, they always show you what they're mixing up. Bob Ross today. So sometimes I know it's messy. I like to push the palette over so you can watch me mix the colors, you know. So I think that really helps when you're deciding to pick colors. So, well, Bob did it this way and Diane did it that way. So I'm just going to kind of, I really need to detail these with a small one, but I'm going to go through and just kind of start making some strokes with the beard. Like I said, I'm going to go over this with some ochre, kind of tone this down. I'm going to make a wash. Do you guys know what a wash is? It's like a really liquidy paint. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to dry this with a dryer. I'm just kind of making these little strokes here. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to put more details in. And I'm going to just go over the whole thing with a wash. Washes are used actually a lot in watercolors too. But they use it for all different things. Like if a painting's too cool, they want to warm it up, they'll use like the ochre. If it's too warm and they want to cool it down, they'll use like a blue. And it's basically just done with water and their acrylics. And like oil, they use different mediums, usually something to tone it down with. They have different things that they use to mix in with the paints. Sometimes it's good to just watch what they're doing when they mix the paints. I like to watch, see what they're doing. Same thing I was doing here. I like to watch them when they're mixing the colors and when they're picking out their brushes and why they did it. And it's not just, sometimes it's not even just the paint, it is the application. So I remember when perms became the big thing and they were talking about there was a lot of bad perms coming out. Well, a lot of them, I'll tell you, a lot of hairdressers, they go to hairdresser school and that's it. They never attend another seminar or learn from another hairdresser, and it's true. I hate to say it, but it's true. So they never pick up the new techniques, and what they discovered was that was the problem. But the other thing was it's just the talent behind the chair. So if you've never picked up another different type of roller or learned a new technique, or same thing with painting, then you're going to be kind of left out in the cold. I mean, if you don't care, you don't care. But sometimes it's good to, like I said, I have these guys like in my classes kind of try different things, because I've picked up a lot of stuff from doing other things like ceramics. I picked up that one technique. See now I get this cool looking beard. I pick some of that. I kind of like to carry the color into this hat, so it's kind of pick up some of that and put it in here. So it's good to kind of learn a little bit of everything, watercolors, all of it. Even if you don't really execute it, you should at least watch, I still like watching haircuts and stuff. I still do. I don't know how I do it. I've been looking for a new hairdo, So I went on Pinterest, my other favorite place to go. And I seen this haircut. And I sat there, I ended up watching 10 haircuts. I ain't gonna cut nobody's hair no more. I just like watching them. So you can put a bead right here. They had a bead in that picture. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go like this. Then I'm gonna I got a detail brush out. I'm gonna come all the way over. Like that. And blend this in. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little highlight on that nose, like this. Just like this. And then I can do a little tiny black mouth right there. That's all you gotta do. Now, I'm not liking the way those eyes are looking, because they didn't really, I don't think they really need to show too much, so I'm gonna come back over with some fluffies, blue and black and white again. I'm gonna kind of just, like he has bangs. There you go. I'm gonna take some white and I'm gonna make this little curl to his beard. Just like that. Yeah, that's better. I want all his face showing. I don't like the way this one turned out. Hold on. I don't like the way that turned out. It needs a little more gray in there. Too much white. A little more gray. That's too even. I want this a little more sloppy. A little more sloppy. I put a little pink on that nose, I think. Let's get some pink out. A little pink on this nose. There you go. Alright, he's coming around. Now let me take this little tiny brush, and I'm going to kind of make the indication that there's a thumb there. Highlight. Alright, he's looking pretty good, huh? Now, let me get this red and black again. I'm going to cover up some of this right here. Oops. Oopsie. Do I want any stars back here or anything? I feel like I need to bring this beard out a little bit. A little bit. He's kind of a long, skinny Santa on me, isn't he? I think so. Put a little belt on him if you want. Let's put a belt on him. Just use some straight black. Yeah, let's use a little bit of that ochre and white. There's some black left on the brush. That should tone it down pretty good. Like that. Now we can put more black right here. That's good. Ochre and white. Oh. Yeah, let's put a few stars. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make it that dark, but it's okay. Let me get a small brush so the stars aren't gigantic. So, I use the end of the brush. So, this one's kind of small. So, let's get some white and kind of do this a little bit. I messed that one up, that's alright. Just kind of make some stars. I messed this one up right here. I'm going to blend that in a little bit. What I use is blue, ochre, blue, and ochre, and some white. A little more blue. Just kind of blend this in right here. I didn't like it. Am I drifting again? It's over here. That's cute. So, now, do I want to do anything to the sides? I could stripe the sides up with like some red and green, right? You could do like red. Maybe we'll do white first. Do some white. That's imperfect. Maybe some green. That's kind of cute. Well, I let the other side dry. I gotta wait till the side dries. I'm gonna kind of hit it with a dryer for a few minutes. So I want to put a little wash on it. Or a glaze. Sometimes they call it glazing. I think it's kind of the same, but I don't know what the difference is. I think the glazes might be like lighter. I know they do a watercolor called glazing, but it's just a wash of color. Very liquidy, very like, transparent over the top. To tone something down. Go on the porch. Maybe one I'm going to do the other side. But I think the big pumpkin on the other side was kind of cute, wasn't it? I got another, if you guys remember, in the group I put Essential Stencils had a big sale, Christmas in July sale. I got some stuff really cute. They're the ones, the rub-offs. I got like 40 and 50% off that stuff. And a 10% discount. Oh, I got a good deal. So we'll be doing, there's Christmas ornaments, there's nutcrackers. It's gonna be fun. Do some for cards, I figure, I got those little wood rounds. I can do those. easy. Okay, I'm gonna do this other side while I'm waiting for this front to dry. Just putting the colors on. A little bit Christmassy looking. I don't think I'm going to do the other side tonight because I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. I think a big pumpkin face maybe, or just not a pumpkin, but like a pumpkin face maybe? What do you think of that? I think that'd be good. It's good. Yeah, kind of the same. He's heavy. I got some spray stuff, but I think I'm gonna have to buy some liquid stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna dry that front a little bit more. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if I can do the whole thing, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can put it on real liquidy, or you can put it on with a sponge too. Depending on how thick you want the glaze, you can do a couple different things. Now you can also take your, once it's dry, your sandpaper, and you could sand some of this off so that it's not so vibrant, but then it gives it like a really super, hey Tammy, super, like worn out look, you know what I mean? You can do that after you glaze it too. I went and put all these pieces that were sticking up, I did that. With my hammer and a knife. And the sandpaper. I gotta dry this first before I do anything else. Almost. So what you do is, I'm going to take that ochre. I need another little something to mix it up on. And you just take a big brush, or like I said, you could use a big sponge too. I need like a. This is good. One of these brushes. Just right here on the side, and I'm gonna just mix a lot of water in this. A lot of water, guys. A lot of water. You want it kind of see-through. Then what you do is you kind of just start putting it on. With some of this, like I said, I didn't wait long enough. I can fix it. Then you take a paper towel or whatever you got, and you can start dabbing it off. Okay, got a little too strong. More water. More water. More water. Yeah, I had too much on there, but that's okay, because we're going to still do some work on here. Still not quite dry either, it doesn't help. And rub it off. Get too much on the bottom, but I'm going to fix that. It's okay. See, it's not quite as vibrant. That's the idea. Not quite as vibrant. Where's my little wet brush? And I can fix up this red a little bit. Would have been better if it was drier, guys. So I can tell you. It would have been better if it was drier. But I'm going to fix some of this red. It's the process of art. Sometimes you got to do stuff. Sometimes you got to fix it. The object is to get as old looking as I can. Get as old looking as I can. A little blue in that. A little blue and black. Gray that out a little bit. There you go. So I don't know what it is where you are, but let me tell you something. It's freaking hot here. And people say, oh, it's 110. One of you guys says 195 when I came inside. I had to laugh because, you know, when it hits 32 here, we put shorts on. That's how cold it gets. We put shorts on. You see all these memes? We actually put shorts on. Because after like 3 months of below zero, 32 is darn warm. 40, I can't even wear a coat. It gets so cold here. I'm not exaggerating. I'm sure a few of you guys know what I'm talking about. It is so cold here. So when we get up in the 90s, I'm not complaining because it's not snowing. We had a horrible year last year, but yeah, it was that bad. So 90 is like, I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, I love it hot. Don't get me wrong, because I am just like cold all the time. But when you can't sit outside in it, it's kind of depressing, you know? We lived in South Carolina, and that's the way it was down there. That's the only thing bad about it. I like the rest of the year, but the summers, forget it. I'm going to kind of tone this down a little bit. The rest of the year, forget it. I kind of touch up this gold a little bit. Go. Touch up the black. Definitely old looking now. Definitely old looking. I love the winter months are the best down there. I mean, down the south. Oh, I love the winter months. In like March, I was in South Carolina. All the Azalea Festival, so beautiful. All the pinks and all that color. Oh, so beautiful. But then the storms start. Oh, huh. Yeah. I'd never seen rain like that in my life. Of course, lately we've had that. We've had a lot of flooding and stuff. You know, which is not unusual, but a lot is not good. So this whole country is like underwater. See, they're on fire underwater, right? Alright, so I gotta adjust these a little bit. But this is a little beat up looking. So that's okay. Like, I'm not trying to make this perfect. I want this to look old. So if I screw up a little bit, that's okay. I don't want it to look like really, really good. Alright, so I think this is looking pretty cool. So, I don't like this one. Hold on. I don't like that one. Some white, some blue, some black. A little bit more. So cold here, oh my god. They say our temper, we could grow like cottage garden plants, and we can. They're not coming back though, because they can't. We have extreme temperature changes. We can go from 20, 30 below zero back up to 60 degrees like in a 24-hour. The plants can't take it. They can't take it. So we really need cold. We got changed to zone 6. We used to be 5. My sister's 5 or 4. And there's a lot of her plants last. And my daughter, her farm, they're now like, I think she's got to be at least a 5. You know, she's got a greenhouse now. She grows stuff in the greenhouse. It's just so darn cold. Nothing grows outside, you know. Well, that's pretty cool. So let me see how this looks. Yeah, it's pretty cold up here. it's where we are. We sit in a valley. Isn't that cool? And you know, we're only like an hour from Lake Ontario. It's pretty cool. This beard, that's a little crooked, right? Oh no, that's kind of cool. Maybe a little shadow underneath that mustache. That's what I'm thinking. A little more black and white. A little shadow, bring that down a little bit. I'm gonna put some white on it. Gotta anchor it. Yeah. So what you think? You like my vintage Santa? Now you could. I'm gonna add a little gold. I'm gonna give him some pizzazz. So I got my this stuff. I'm out of my paint. Gold. My acrylic paint. This is like really sticky stuff. So I put it on with a brush. Not the same. You gotta put it on with a peeling knife. This is a Decor's texture line. So let me turn this around. You can watch me. What's on here? Oops. Oh my God. So I'm going to take a little bit of this gold texture here. And I'm going to put on his belt first, a little bit on his belt. Of course, just a tad. And then put some on his hat too. Just going to kind of dab it in. Just a tad of pizzazz, not much. Not much, a little bit. Just a little Well, anyways, there's some daylight out. I don't know. I'm hoping I can get to do a few more watercolors. I'm liking my little setup. There's a few other things I need in there, which I have over here. I just got a little pencil in there, but I want a good pencil. I got a kit here. I don't know what it is about watercolors in the summer. I love doing watercolors outside. I just seen this interesting thing. I tell people, you know, there's certain things you got to spend your money on when you're learning art. And watercolor, a lot of people are real big on that Daniel Smith. Crap, it's expensive. But if you want all the colors, to take out a loan. So I was watching this thing, and I started out on Winsor Newton, which I love. All my oil paints, and they were the best. There's a lot of new ones, like I use Arteza stuff in the oils and water. And really good stuff, you know. So they were one of the first ones around. Winsor Newton is an old company. So she did a comparison between their watercolors and dollar store watercolors. And she did, you know how I do the blocks, compare the colors. Now, I don't know about the color fastness or how good they hold up, but they looked an awful lot alike. So the consensus was, and I agree, that spend your money on good paper. You know what I mean? Make sure you get the kind of paper you like. And you can buy rolls of watercolor paper. Did you know that? You can buy rolls of drawing paper. And if you're doing a lot like me, in fact, that's why I was telling you that, it's because I'm thinking of buying a roll of watercolor paper, because I've been doing a lot of stuff on watercolor, including the ATC. You can get for like $27, you get like 10 yards or some ridiculous amount. And it sounds like a lot, but like when I get a good deal on the books, I just put a new book. I forgot what I paid. I found the one I was looking for. I couldn't find it. I found it. It was in with my stuff that I make plans, and I got this one. They're both different poundage, you know. And a good deal is around $10. So I bet you, I tried to figure it out, there was probably, for $27, I'm going to get 5 times more than what I have right here. I mean, I'm using for ATC, I use them for my acrylics, I've used them for my oils, I've used them for everything, my decoupage, my everything. So I'm thinking, if you guys want to look, actually Amazon sells it by the roll. And like the fancier, you can buy rice paper, you can buy all different kinds of paper, textures and stuff. I used to go down to, I haven't done it in a while, but they have it down the art, they have a fancy art supply here. And they're on the shelves, and they're just individual papers, you know, like handmade paper. Okay, you can really get into it. But if you guys are using a lot of paper, buy the roll, split a roll. So for $27, 2 of those books get expensive, you know. I also bought the these things, the postcards. So there's $30. I could hit a whole roll, and might even end up cutting some of these, you know. So, you know. All right, guys. So that's it for tonight. I will see you Saturday. We are gonna do some rocks, and now I got a vintage Santa. I have to see what I'm gonna do with the back. We're gonna do that bowling ball next week. I'm thinking we're gonna do like maybe a mosaic look. You love it? Yeah, so I'm not sure yet. Hey, Rena. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. But I know I get that bowling ball looks so sad. And the girl across the street, I don't think she's very artistic. You know, which is nothing wrong with that. But what's that thing? I have one I did all in beads and stuff. Since I used to bowl, it's my bowling ball. And, oh. She didn't know. People, you know, I'm in here. I'm new here. And, one of my mentors, Heidi, talks about people don't know what you're doing. I'm inside all that. I said, yeah, I work. You're like, well, where do you go? I'm home. I'm working from home. I'm a digital, and a lot of them are older here. They don't know what a digital creator is, or an influencer, or you know, you can't even tell them because they don't get it. So I didn't say nothing. I said, just a little craft. And what are you gonna say? You know, funny, right? Hey, thou art strong. What is your first name? I can't remember it. Anyways, guys, I am done for tonight. Here's what we did. Thou art strong. Cute, huh? I smell the wood. Oh, I love the smell of wood. I was in the back of the store, like looking at. If I was younger, you can do those great big wood pieces. You know, the door or whatever they are. And they had a bunch of scrap wood in the back, and there was even some free pieces over in the trash. I said, these free goes, yeah. Well, I'm like, oh, I don't want them, but I really wanted them. But what am I going to do with all this stuff? I don't do a lot of stuff anymore, but you can back of those stores, anybody that's interested in painting wood, and you can get stuff cheap. This I had to have this cut for, it's 2x4, it's good wood. I had a 10-foot and a 5-foot, and it's like $11, Lowe's. I get 5% off, I have a card there. But, I got 4 pieces for the deck, and there was one longer one. I should have cut in half. I thought about like cut in half. I would have had 3 of these. But I think I want to make a shelf out of it. But you know, if you got a project going on, do you want the leftovers? I'm like, yeah, you could do some stuff with it. The other one's longer, so I think I'm gonna do some kind of shelf with it. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know. All right, guys. So have a great night, and I will see you guys Saturday. And my group is right there at the Artsy Rose Shop. Come on over 4 o'clock every Saturday, and I'm on here every week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I sneak on early, but most of the time it's between 6:30 and 7:30, and I do all different projects on the Thursday, Saturday. Mostly I'm an acrylic painter, and that's what I teach, but I teach a little bit of everything, and I learn with you, and I grow with you. I try to inspire you and help you be more skilled and confident, and you know, we're all on this artistic journey, and I'm hoping I can help you along. So I don't really get too crazy sometimes. But my membership, we get more into the detailing parts of, if you want to get like deeper into it. My girls that are in there, they've been wanting to do the ones with the tracer. You know, like a template. Anybody doesn't know what a tracer is? So we've been doing those for the last 1.5 years here. But all the old guide section with color blocking and color mixing and lights and shadows and, you know, all that all that stuff is in there. So there's a lot of guides. I have to go look. But now with the new ones, that twice a month I do a new painting or a new project, mostly paintings, a little more fancier stuff. We're doing this one on Friday. But actually I'm thinking we're going to kind of fancy it up. I decided I just wanted to do some pumpkins. I don't know, I just wanted to. All the stores have got the Halloween stuff out. I was in Lowe's. Huge thing, roar! You know, I'm like, look at that. I thought they'd have a big display. They don't, but they're starting. And I was in the Dollar Tree, and I bought this little Halloween pumpkin thing. And yeah, so it's starting, guys. So, all right, guys, so I will see you Saturday. I'll see you other guys tomorrow night. We're going to do our pumpkin. And, guys, I hope inspiration finds you wherever you go, and make art. Make lots and lots of art. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.